Welcome back to NBA Cinema. Today we're going to check out Trayce Jackson Davis, Indiana Hoosiers senior, averaged 21 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and almost 3 blocks a game, shooting at 58 from the field. One of the best college players over the last couple years, showed up every night for Indiana, challenges shots at the rim, extremely strong, and obviously he's Dale Davis' son. I mean, what else did you expect? Indiana Pacers legend. And I'm looking at the Pacers. They have 2 first-round picks, right? So that first pick, a lot of times at 7, people want to draft freshman, sophomore based off of potential, and they could go several routes there. But they also have a pick at 26, and bringing in Trayce Jackson Davis for them, you would bring in a person that already knows how to play. Now, I'm high on Trayce Walker and his energy. I'm just looking at the footwork, how much he operates around the rim, how disruptive he is, how many second chances you're able to get with him on the floor. I think sometimes in these drafts, players that are ready to come in and produce right away and knows who they are as a player are undervalued. I mean, you're seeing that with Jimmy Butler, right? Miami Heat's been to 2 finals with a guy that wasn't seen as like this lottery player. And you look at the Joker, we can't even get started on that second round pick, 41st pick of the draft, and they're in the finals, potentially about to win their first title. So I say that to say, let's not overlook some of these older players. I'm not in no way, shape, or form saying that Trayce Jackson Davis is going to achieve those same things as a number 1 option, but I'm saying just look at the value of players that stayed in college and have worked on their game. I think the Pacers, this would make sense. He would instantly become a fan favorite just being Dale Davis' son. You think about him with those legendary Pacers team with Mark Jackson, Reggie Miller. At one point, I think Detlef Schrempf played for them, but I'm talking about the team that had Aaron McKee, Antonio Davis, Rick Smits, all those guys on the team. Chuck Person was on there at one point in time, but I can go down that rabbit hole all day. But we talking about Trayce Jackson Davis, and I noticed one thing that they constantly say is a weakness for him is his 3-point shooting. Now, he has a 0% 3-point shooting percentage in his college career, but that's because he only took 6 in 4 years. This guy knows who he is as a player, and I don't necessarily see it as a weakness. Would you like to see him be a great shooter from 15 feet? Maybe. But I feel like sometimes when scouts are saying people have to improve their 3 ball, that's a double-edged thing. Like, I want him to be able to shoot it enough to make it if he's just absolutely disrespected from the 3 and they sag off of him like that. But I don't want him taking so many. We look at someone like Julius Randle, right? They tell him he has to improve his 3 ball, and he goes crazy. He shoots 15 some games. He shoots, 16, 12. I would rather you be like Trayce Jackson Davis and don't shoot that shot, because a lot of times they don't show up in the stat sheet as turnovers, but they are, and let me explain why. If the ball bounces long, you have someone back in transition in a 1-on-3, 1-on-2 situation, they end up picking up a foul because you took a bad shot. You're hanging your head, loafing back up the court, and you put your other teammate in harm's way of picking up a foul. So I say that I call them turnovers personally, even though they're not officially turnovers. They're just bad basketball plays, and it's possessions that the defense will live with. So I'm in the minority of people that actually like that he doesn't take them. I would like for the Golden State Warriors to take a look at him too, 6'9", 245. He may be someone they need to try to implement on that team, because I don't think he's one of those players that's going to need a lot of touches. He's going to find ways to be productive on the floor with whoever he lands with. And I think that's a skill in itself. Sometimes when you get a person that's always play with the ball in their hands, as far as dribbling it up the court, shooting whenever they want, they struggle when they land on the NBA team where the team already has their main scorers and they want you to do something else on the floor to be productive. I feel like Trayce Jackson Davis, with his motor, his identity as a player, him knowing who he is, I feel like that'll bode well for him landing anywhere on any NBA roster. Only thing I would like to see him work on is I noticed his free throw percentage never got up out of the 60s throughout his college career. So if I had one area, well, two areas of concerns, I would say continue to work on your mid-range jump shot and your free throw shooting. But Trayce Jackson Davis is a fine player, and whoever gets him will be lucky.